Thank you. I'm Mr. Lehner, and I'll be your magician today on Mr. Lehner's Magical Math Extravaganza. In today's Magical Math Extravaganza, I'm going to be using my magic hat. I'm also going to be using my magic wand up here to make things magically appear on the front board. And in today, we're going to be estimating sums and differences. So without going through any other magic spells here and talks and potions, let's get into our problems. Estimating sums and differences. The gas tank on Mary's boat can hold 5 gallons of gasoline, but the tank is empty. She needs a full tank for her fishing trip. She adds 2 1/4 gallons of gas from her gas container. She then needs to fill up at a nearby marina. For those of you who don't know what a marina is, it's kind of like a gas station for boats. She must pay first. She wants the tank to be as filled as possible, but does not want to overpay. How many gallons should Mary ask for? There's a lot of information inside this problem in here. When looking at it, you got to kind of break it down step by step. It's going to be like magic how we figure this one out. Her boat can hold 5 gallons of gasoline. Alright, got that in my head. The tank's empty. Well, she's probably got no gas in the can, or gas in the tank there. She needs a full tank for the trip. Well, she's got to get 5 gallons in there. Okay, I follow it so far. She adds 2 1/4 gallons of gas from her gas container. Okay, so she pours it into her gas tank, 2 1/4 gallons. She then needs to fill up the rest of her tank at the marina, but she must pay first. Okay. She wants the tank to be as filled as possible, but does not want to overpay. How many gallons should Mary ask for? Well, I need a little help on this one here. So I'm going to use a little magic to get some help from a couple friends of mine. We got Billy the boat up there. I told you there'd be some magic in here. And we also have our gallon guy here on the side. So our gallon guy and Billy the boat here are going to help me kind of work through this problem. Okay, Mary needs to buy 5 gallons of gas, but I'm going to take away 2 1/4 gallons of gas because she already took the handy-dandy little gasoline can and poured some into the boat already. So, if I were to subtract 5 minus 2 1/4 gallons of gas for her boat, this would equal 2 3/4 gallons. So she has to use 2 3/4 gallons. That would make sense, right? Wait, what's that? Hold on a second. Oh yeah, thanks. I'm glad this guy over here helped me out a little bit. We're talking about estimating here. So if she didn't want to overpay, she doesn't want to overestimate how much she needs, she might need to underestimate a little bit. Good point. Let's figure that out. So she wants to make sure that what she buys will fit in her container for her gas tank. She should underestimate and ask for 2 1/2 gallons instead of 2 3/4 gallons of gasoline so that the gas does not overfill and spill out of her gas tank. Right, you wouldn't want that gas to go in the water. You definitely wouldn't want to overpay with the gas being so, expensive in there. So, in this case, yeah, I might underestimate a little bit to make sure that I have enough gas to fit inside my tank so that it doesn't overfill me, waste that money. Oh, I'm glad these guys helped me out, because without it, I don't know, it might have been a little bit of a struggle for me. Alright, and just like magic, we now have a magic problem for you to solve. Mr. Lehner has sent his 6th grade class to the grocery store. He has given them $10 to buy a few items for the classroom party. The following is a list of what he would like the students to buy. Maybe you'd be lucky enough to be in that group. I want milk, ice cream, chips, salsa, cookies, candy, cereal, and pie. Now I know I'm breaking all kinds of health regulations for this party, so I might have to get some permission slips for this. But here's my list here, and here are the prices for each one of the items. I've given you $10 to go to the store with. What I'd like you to do, yeah, magic again, all these different food items, I know, makes me hungry too. I wish I could magically snap my finger and make some of this food appear. But what you're going to do is, this is my list. I've given you $10. I'm now going to ask you to solve these 3 mystery questions. Can you buy all the items with $10? How do you know? Secondly, if I gave you just $5, what would you be able to buy? There's multiple explanations you can make for that one. And lastly, what can I buy with $5 to come as close to spending all of my money without going over? These are the actual prices, so we're not factoring in any tax or anything like that yet. This is what you would pay if you went to the grocery shop register. But again, make sure you got your paper or your magic pencil or wand. Get that paper and pencil ready to go. Go ahead and pause this video and we'll see what you come up with. Okay, the first question asks, could you buy everything on the list with just your $10? Now, one of the strategies I would use for this is I would just add up all my whole numbers. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I've already got $8 there in money. I know that if I add 75 and 38, that's going to be a little bit over $1. That gets me to $9. 66 and 26 is going to get me in the 90 range. And then this is all my extra change over here. So using some estimating skills, I can estimate I don't have enough money to buy every single item with just at $10. Mr. Lehner must have just done a poor job of estimating before he sent us to the store. So we don't have enough with $10 to get all of our items, and I just use a little estimating to figure that out. Now, what Mr. Lehner should have done is overestimated the cost and maybe given the class like $20 or $30 to make sure that he had enough to cover the cost of the party. And then hopefully none of the students would take the extra money on there. I don't know. Okay, moving on. If you have $5, what can you buy? There are numerous examples that you can choose. Now what you would do is you'd have to add up your price to make sure you did not go over $5. So I might have gotten the pie, the cereal, and candy with salsa. I could have gotten chips and salsa and the milk on here. So there's different things that I could have done to make sure that I did not go over $5. And again, I want to make sure I found the actual value of each one of these. And then lastly, what can I buy with $5 to come as close to spending all of my money without going over the cost? If I were to do this, I can then get the cookies, which are very delicious, for $1.34. I could then get candy for $1.12. I could also get a pie at $1.21, and I can also get my ice cream at $1.26. If I were to add up all four of these totals, that would equal $4.93. That's the closest I can get to $5 without going over. And it sounds like there'd be some pretty cool things to have at our party. I'm sure you'd like some of these items to be there as well. This was a very delicious and magical addition to Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza, and I even have a magic trick for you. I'm going to try and magically make a rabbit appear out of my hat. Well, not really a rabbit, but at least it's a Sox fan. Lucky for me, I didn't go to magic school, and I went into education to be a teacher. I don't know how well I would do in magic. But thank you for tuning in to Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza. As always, we'll see you next time.